Good evening. News Extra is here again, and tonight we can tell you that we have a loaded package. Aftermath of London 2012, Nigeria's sports sector is to undergo total and comprehensive reorganization. Federal government comments and announcements by Boko Haram on readiness to dialogue even as security challenges in parts of the north continue. And wait for it. 4 years after amnesty to Niger Delta militants, some youths in Rivers State surrender their guns to the authorities. In other news, assurance of steady power supply and more attention to manufacturing sector. That's a tip on the outlook. I'm Muji Makojola. Welcome. Following Nigeria's dismal outing at this year's London Olympics, President Goodluck Jonathan has ordered total and comprehensive reorganization of Nigeria's sports sector, with the private sector to be fully involved in funding. Information Minister Labaran Mako announced these after Federal Executive Council session, which also approved rehabilitation of Obudu Dam to benefit Obudu, Ikom, Ogoja, and Calabar in Cross River State. State House correspondent Ima Okondo reports.
Minister Labaran Mako explained that President Jonathan, who chaired the session, also directed convening of a national retreat with state governments and the private sector to reorder priorities and to, from now, begin a new momentum to bring back Nigeria's lost glory in sports. Going further, that it is expected that the 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games and the 2016 Rio Olympics will be pivotal for Nigeria to set targets and get them achieved.
He believes that what this nation needs at the moment is to take a somber look at what has happened and indeed change the scenario by working hard on all that we need to do to return the sporting sector to its glory. Mr. President emphasized the need for early planning, better administration of sports, as well as funding, which he believes can no longer be left to government alone, but must involve the private sector to generate sufficient resources to return our sports to its glory.
In authorizing the rehabilitation of Obudu Dam under the World Bank-assisted Second National Urban Sector Reform Project, Council noted it will enable Cross River State carry out its regional water scheme, which started in 2005.
They need a source of raw water, and the World Bank insists that the integrity of every dam they're using must be assessed. And the Obudu Dam was assessed, and it was discovered that there would be need to rehabilitate it, and that's why they gave the no objection for the rehabilitation work to be carried out, and this project will be financed 100% by the IDA credit. The contract sum is 1.165 billion naira.
Also in Council, President Jonathan constituted a ministerial committee to study the report of the Presidential Committee on Reorganization of the Police submitted on Tuesday.
And produce a white paper which will help to address the matter very quickly because of the insecurity challenges we are facing in the nation. Incidentally, the Attorney General is the chairman of that committee to look at this report. I am also a member as the Minister of Police Affairs. The Minister for FCT is a member, and the Minister of Niger's Delta is also a member.
In the State House, I'm Ima Okondo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Information Minister Labaran Mako says the federal government has heard an announcement by Boko Haram in the foreign media that it is ready to negotiate and dialogue with government to discontinue its terrorist activities that have grounded economic activities in parts of the northern Nigeria. The minister made clarifications on the announcement, where the group also expressed worry that unidentified political interests are spreading violence in their name.
As to the details of what government or the group may be talking about, I believe it is, I'm not in a position now to confirm, but it's just to tell you that we have heard about the announcement by the member of this group, and but government position is very clear. We are prepared to engage in dialogue, and we have always called on all those involved in violence to stop violence and talk to government at different levels about their grievances, because we know that violence cannot solve any problem in the country, and that this violence particularly has been very damaging to our communities in northern Nigeria, and is costing the country a lot of opportunities for development, particularly in the parts of the north where this violence, unfortunately, has taken root for some time. So we will see going forward what the announcement means.
The extraordinary Solidarity Summit of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to spread the message of global peace and address the crisis-ridden Muslim countries have been held in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Vice President Mohammed Namadi Sambo, who represented President Jonathan, attended with Minister of State Foreign Affairs Nuruddin Mohammed and Nigeria's ambassador to the kingdom, Alhaji Abubakar Shehu Bunu. Hamza Musa Makarfi reports.
The meeting was convened at the instance of the custodian of the two holy mosques, a ruler of Saudi Arabia, King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz. According to information, the meeting convened to lift the clouds of gloom and pessimism and chart a brighter future.
The king extended an invitation to the 57 member states. And his colleague and brother, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, mandated the vice president to sit in for Nigeria. The basic agenda for the meeting is to discuss the variety of problems facing the Muslim world. The crisis in Syria, the crisis in northern Mali, that is threatening the whole Sahelian region. And the Sahel region is very important to OIC because out of the 15 member states of ECOWAS, 13 are OIC members. And then, of course, the issue of interfaith dialogue. In that respect, Nigeria featured prominently. We're the largest Islamo-Christian country in the world. And any dialogue between faiths will come out to the greatest advantage of Nigeria. Other issues that were discussed, encouraging moderation in Islam, and a move to bring out a universal educational curriculum.
The Organization of Islamic Cooperation was founded in 1969. From Makkah, I am Hamza Musa Makarfi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Vice President Namadi Sambo has received the Guinea-Bissau interim president, Sharif Namajo, at the Makkah Guest Palace Hotel, expressing appreciation to President Jonathan for supporting his country. Again, Hamza Musa Makarfi reports.
Vice President Mohammed Namadi Sambo informed the Guinea-Bissau leader, who is also attending the Organization of Islamic Cooperation meeting in Makkah, of commitment by the Jonathan administration to support his country. The Vice President said he will also convey the request of the Guinea-Bissau president to President Jonathan for a visit to Nigeria.
Basically, they will be organizing elections next year. It's an interim presidency. And just recently, the president approved a grant of $10 million for that country. It's a troubled country. It's a Nigerian neighbor. And based on our strategic national interests, stability in Guinea-Bissau is paramount. It's a huge drug route, trafficking route to Europe. And it's in our enlightened self-interest to stabilize Guinea-Bissau. Because the next available market after Europe in West Africa is Nigeria. So that's why Mr. President is working tirelessly with other ECOWAS heads of states to make sure that we stabilize Guinea-Bissau and bring back democracy.
From Makkah, I am Hamza Musa Magalipi, NTA News.
The three tiers of government have shared a total of 520.917 billion naira